Today's lesson, wrangle the show. How do you wrangle the show? Do you get a big lasso and just lasso the show? Is that what you do? No, it's not what you do. Well, you kind of do it. It's not actually taking a rope and doing it that way, but wrangling a show is basically this. Okay, if you're the head, you're the host, you're the main announcer. I don't care if you're solo, if you're with people, you got other announcers, reporters. You're the ringleader no matter what, okay? So you need to know what the show plan is, okay? So you need to know, what are you running videos? Are you competition format? Are you tossing to reporters? Are you taking it back from reporters? You need to know all that information going into it, because how do you wrangle the show going in blind, turning on the mic and just start talking? You can't. Okay, you need to know what's expected. So you get with your director, you get with your producer, and you talk with them. What do you have planned for today? All right, do we have commercial packages? Do we have video content? Do we have a reporter? Do we have the DJ that's going to go on camera? Do I have a co-host? All this stuff is what you need to know to wrangle the show properly, okay? And then think about it. You're the ringleader. You're the one who is in charge. You are the ringleader. That means you're the one controlling every single portion of what is to happen, all right? So when you're wrangling the show, being the ringleader is the one who's going to get you into videos, who's going to get you into commercials, who's going to send it down to the reporter. That's when you are the ringleader. You have to control everything, every aspect, so the show can be smooth, and that's how you wrangle the show. Now, know your script, okay? The show timetable. Know what time you're expected for the first time to come on the mic. Know what's expected on the last time you get off the mic. Know the whole schedule of the day, because if you know the schedule of the day, when you first crack on the mic, you can start telling people what is the schedule of the day. You can break it all down for them. One by one, tell them all the way through the entire day. You can show them how to do it by knowing the script and knowing the show timetable. All right, very important. It's another thing on when you wrangle the show, like let's say you have a co-host he's going out there, and I've worked with co-hosts, they get on a tangent, they're talking about something else. They're not talking what's on the video screen, they're not talking about what's on the big screen, they're not talking about anything, but they're just getting out there. And so you have to wrangle the show. You have to bring it back. You have to bring it back full circle. You got to be the one to always keep control of it. Even if you're sending it down to a performance that's down in the mix, and this performance is going haywire, well, and the mics don't work, you need to be the one to wrangle it. So don't let it get off topic. Don't let your co-host get too far off. Always bring it back and wrangle the show. That's how you wrangle the show. It's a social media world out there, people. And when you do shows, you need to know social media tags, okay? Hashtags I'm talking about. I'm talking about @. I'm talking about every aspect of social media going into that event. You should know ahead of time, because those are great outs. Like one of the things I like to always say, hey, if you're going to be taking pictures out here, make sure, and you're posting them up on social media, put in this hashtag, put in that hashtag, and put @ as well. So by knowing all the social media tags, that's important stuff. That's so important to the event, because number one, it makes the event more popular. Number two, you look better doing it. Number three, it's a segue into something else that you're going to be doing. So know the social media tags. Know the rules. Man, oh man, do you need to know the rules? You need to know the rules of whatever you're doing. Like back when I used to work in the NBA, and we would have burger eating contests, you know, right there on the court. Well, I needed to know the rules to that to be able to announce it, because I had about a minute and a half to be able to pull off a burger eating contest before the timeout was over, so the basketball players can get back on the court and play the game. So you need to know the rules of the show, and you need to know the rules of the show front and back easily. Like you can just quote them just like that. Here's the rules, here's what's happening, let's go. All right, know the rules of the show immediately. Work on your tosses when you're tossing down to another reporter, you're tossing down to a segment, or you're tossing to videos, whatever the case may be. Work on those tosses and integrate. What do I want to say? I mean, you want it with the sponsor. Integrations with the sponsors is so important, because if you have sponsors that are paying thousands of dollars to be part of this, right? Well, you want to be able to represent them positive. Like I remember an event I was doing years ago where what I like to do is, it was sponsored by Wendy's. Wendy's, the fast food chain, was the sponsor of this. And we had this big screen set up on the venue. And every time that we would go to something, we would toss it up there. So I decided to take it on myself and call it the Wendy's big screen. And that's what I did. So I referred to it that way. The people from Wendy's came up to me and said, that was awesome, that was amazing, and it worked out perfect. So that is what it comes down to. You need to know all this information when it comes down to the number one thing, how to wrangle a show. The more you know, the better you're gonna do. That's how you wrangle a show.